I have got Heather and Scott here from Globe Getaways. They are officially our outstanding agents of the month. So this husband and wife duo is pretty dynamic. They offer some great services. And so we here in the Travel Expert Marketing Academy are really excited to feature Heather and Scott. So Heather and Scott, thank you for being here today. And congratulations on being our outstanding agents of the month.
Thank you. It's an honor.
So not every couple can work together. Can you share any tips on how you guys, work so seamlessly together?
I think it's because we're so different. Well, I think that's a good thing. We just have different skills. We're not trying to do the same things.
So you're complementing each other's skill sets really well.
Yeah.
I think it's good to also give each other some space on a day-to-day basis, but that's important because it can be difficult working together at times.
Sure.
Not every day is a good day.
Yeah, I get that. My husband and I work on a lot of projects together, and I get that. There's really good days, and then there's days.
A little forgiveness goes a long way.
Yes, indeed. Do you have any fun stories to share by chance of just working together?
I just know that when Scott closes the door to his office, that he really doesn't want to be disturbed. So
okay, got it.
Just keep away.
Yeah. So it's good to set up those little, I don't know if boundaries is the right word, but those little signs with each other.
Yes.
Awesome. So, Heather, you do most of the front end working with the clients, and then Scott, you do a lot of the back end, the marketing and business operations, right?
That's correct.
So, Heather, working with the clients, what is your favorite part of being a travel agent?
I think it's very interesting when I pick up the phone and somebody answers it and they have this dream of a trip, and I love helping them put it together. Everybody's different. They have these different goals. They have these different, they have different expectations, and it's just fun getting to know lots of different people and helping them, come up with the dream vacation.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any favorite destinations that you just love booking?
I love booking Europe.
Okay.
I think Europe is a lot of fun. Those customized trips where they want to go here, there, and the other place, and they call me because they're overwhelmed. They don't know how to get from here to there. They don't know where to stay. I think that's a fun challenge. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely fun. So if you could send yourself a message back when you were first getting started as a travel agent, what would you tell yourself?
Scott and I were talking about this, and something that we struggled with at the beginning was just who to trust and who to make partners with, who to be partners with. And I think there was a lot of pressure being part of networking groups to try to trust somebody who was brand new at what they were doing. And sometimes that was good, and sometimes that did not serve us well. So I think that was a lesson we learned at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is tough because we were a new business as well.
Yeah.
So we wanted to put those trust in businesses, but whether it's an accountant or a host agency, working with established businesses was really to our advantage, and we didn't necessarily do that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's a tough position to be in because you as a new business really want people to take a chance on you. But yet on the other side of that, you're right, when you're working with other businesses that have little experience and that you don't have any just met them, it cannot always go well. And so that, I think, is something that all businesses struggle with and can, really appreciate you guys saying that. So thank you for talking openly about that struggle, because I'm sure there's a lot of other travel agents out there in the same position.
I'm sure there is. I know many of them.
So Scott, on the back end of the business, in terms of the marketing and business, if you could go back and tell yourself something, what would it be? What advice would you have when you were just getting started?
It's the same thing that I tell myself every day now, which is focus, focus, focus.
Yeah.
And, sometimes it's hard because I'm chasing and herding cats at times.
Yeah.
But I have to understand that at some point, you just need to focus on the daily tasks and get it done. And I know that's something that you push in your program, but it is so hard for me. But that is really a key to success.
Absolutely. Yeah. Consistency is key. Absolutely. It's an old adage that rings true and forever will. Consistency is key. And, the really sexy, fun things in our business aren't usually the things that produce the best results. It's the da stuff that, makes for long-term success and builds the beautiful foundation that you can then have a thriving business off of.
And there is a lot of in travel. I mean, there's a lot of dotting I's and crossing T's and just getting the little stuff done. It's constant.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have any kind of like personal mantras that you use, something you tell yourself when you're feeling stuck or in a rut in the business, anything that kind of helps pull you guys out?
When we first started, there was a saying that I kind of took to heart. It was fake it till you make it. Because there was so much I didn't know. And so I found that, just acting intelligent and maybe not necessarily having the answers right away, but getting the answers right away was really helpful. And so even now I tell my contractors that sometimes you just got to fake it till you make it. And, don't act like you don't know anything, but you don't have to volunteer answers either.
Yeah, you can go back, do your research.
Know what you don't know too.
Yeah.
That's important. It's certainly not something where you want to give inaccurate information. It's important that you get it right. And but it's certainly possible to delay an answer and find the correct answer, so you're getting giving the client a good value.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. I'll be back in an hour. I'll find out. I don't know. So altogether, I mean, we really like to think that we treat other people as we want to be treated too. That's important. If we say we're going to do something, that we do it in the time frame that we suggested that we were going to get back, and just be reliable. Those are important things for us.
Yeah, that is absolutely critical, especially in the industry that you're in, and having people travel in your because it's an important thing. If eyes don't get dotted, or you're not following through, then the clients don't feel like they can trust you. When you're always coming through with what you say, then you build that trust, and that's why those clients feel so good coming over back to you for years and years and years, and the referrals and things, and why you guys have become so successful. So fantastic. Yeah. So what's been the hardest part of getting like the marketing and business side of the business for you? What would you say has been just the biggest challenge?
It's the brain work that goes behind it is the hardest thing for me, and for both of us. We have challenges too, in that we have many contractors that have different specialties. So we have different messages, and just getting the messaging right. And that's something we continue to refine. We haven't gotten it right the first time, and we're still not anywhere near close to being what I would say done. But it's there, and it's been successful. And we've been in the business a little over 3 years now, and we've been quite successful in that time frame. And even though it's not perfect, if you search in the Denver area for a travel agent, we're at the top of the local results. And a lot of that comes down to just, doing the work. Even though it's not perfect, we continue to refine it.
Yeah. Oh, that's such an important point there. It's progress, not perfection. If you just sit and try to get it perfect, first of all, it's really almost impossible to do that, because it comes out of getting things into the world and then realizing how they work and don't work, and what works about them and what doesn't, and refining and tweaking. And so really when you're in action is when you can, put things through. You can't, in our heads, we can't necessarily think it all through. Like we have to actually get into action. So it's a really, really important point, Scott. Thank you for sharing that. So what has been your guys' biggest win to date, or one of your biggest? You know, we're in the travel agency, you look back and say, wow, that was like a big success that we had, or a big hurdle that we jumped that we're just really proud that we were able to jump.
I just sent my first guy and his girlfriend around the world, and that was in March, April, May. So he was gone 68 days.
Awesome.
And he went to like, I think 15 countries, and all the flights and all the hotels and all the excursions and rental cars and trains and planes. I mean, everything was planned. And he got back, he had a great time. I mean, that was amazing. That was so much fun to put together. It was really gratifying to take it from, you know, just these ideas to fruition. And then I met with him afterwards, and he showed me pictures, and it was just a really fun celebration.
And what was that? 2 months worth of travel?
68 days.
And this guy was somebody who doesn't like downtime.
No.
So whether he was hiking in
Tibet,
Nepal, you know, up towards the Himalayas, or he was, you know, in Iceland, he was active every minute of every day. So that's like, he probably packed 6 months worth of normal person travel into 68 days.
That is awesome. And kudos to you for pulling that off. And case in point, why travel agents are so important. Yeah, because just the average traveler could not, the average person, you know, whether they want to go on that big of a trip or something way scaled back version of that, it is so many details to pull together. And there's such a huge base of knowledge that travel agents like yourselves have that the traveler just doesn't. And so the traveler's missing out on things because they just don't know what they don't know. And I know, you know, for myself personally, there's been so many times that we have gotten, you know, free upgrades or amazing tickets somewhere, or different things that would have gone really awry that didn't, because the travel agent like had our back and was able to foresee a situation that there's no way we would have been able to foresee. And on the other side of that, there's been trips that we didn't use a travel agent that we did get into a pickle, like we were detained in China once. And so because we didn't, there was something with the visa, and it ended up being actually a really crazy story, but it was like that leg of the journey, we ended up not using a travel agent anyway, it ended up not being a good decision, but that's what happened. And so, that is fantastic.
Well, thank you for, you know, marketing the travel agency industry in general there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good sales pitch for us.
All right, awesome. So tell us about your next big goal.
What's our next big goal?
You know, for me, my big goals are in our automation. We're implementing a Salesforce automation system, and just tying all the parts together, and working to create a seamless system, or as seamless as possible. That'll happen in phases, but so that we can have a better customer experience, a better agent experience, and ultimately be more efficient at what we do. And make sure that as we get bigger and bigger, it's harder, or it's getting more difficult to keep on top of every task, every client, every situation, especially with all of our contractors that work with us. So that'll be the engine that helps us move forward into the future.
Awesome.
And then from our agent standpoint, we're working towards getting ready for wave season coming up here. And that really starts to hit us at the end of the year, a little earlier than some agencies. And so we need to make sure we have everybody trained and ready to go, and know how to use those automation systems. So that's on our radar.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to be a good trainer for our contractors. I mean, I want them to have a good experience and learn the business and have success in their own travel agencies. and prepare them as best as I can. I mean, I come out of teaching, so that I guess that makes me happy. I want them to be ready to go, especially come December and January when, the phone starts ringing all the time and it's just really busy. So December, January through April, really.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You have a teaching background, really perfect when you're, especially when you're working with contractors. So great. Thank you guys so much for sharing all of this good behind the scenes stuff today. So if you are a traveler and you want to get to know Scott and Heather, which I highly recommend doing, go on over to their website at globalgetaways.com.
Globegetaways.com.
Say that again?
It's Globe.
Globegetaways.com. Globegetaways.com. Thank you. Globegetaways.com.
Global Getaways is not a real travel agency.
Okay. And then if you are a travel agent and you actually want to get in touch with them about potential, future openings as a contractor, of course, head on over to their website. I can vouch for Scott and Heather. Thank you guys
so much.
Thank you, Heidi.
Today.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Have you been thinking about how to get more ideal clients in your travel business? Do you want to know what wildly successful travel agents are doing? We can show you how to create a highly profitable and rewarding travel business without overworking yourself. We'll shortcut your success by showing you how to get as many new ideal clients as you can handle. Find out how by going to jointravelacademy.com right now and registering for your free online marketing training, which will show you how to be a wildly successful travel agent in today's market. And you'll get a preview to the premier Travel Expert Marketing Academy. Go to jointravelacademy.com right now and register. You don't want to miss out on this free, valuable training. I'll see you there.